Welcome back in one of the Best Robert Plays YouTube channel. Today is Monday. Well, I guess it's Sunday when you're watching this, but Monday plays, February 3rd. Going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be dropping the plays at least 24 hours before the game, just mixing it up a little bit, and we're going to break down the previous day's games on this one. So I had to catch up somehow. We dropped a 7 a.m. one for the Sunday plays. This will be a 12 noon one for the Monday plays, and every video from here on out until I tell you will be dropped at noon for the next day. So we have Sunday noon dropping for the Monday games, breaking down the Saturday games. Hopefully that makes sense. Want to give everybody a fair shot to watch the video. Want to give everybody a chance to get the best lines. And one of these games that we had on Saturday, you could have got a win, but you probably got a loss because of where it closed at. But let's break the games down from Saturday. Beautiful day of college basketball, by the way. Thought it was going to be a great day. Turned out to be just a good day. 4-3 on the game picks, 4-0 on the player props. Starting with Tennessee. Wow. Second half for Tennessee, absolute blowout going up against Florida. Defense led to offense. Chaz Lanier turned it on in the second half. No Zakai Ziegler, and it really didn't matter. Tennessee off the back-to-back losses, back-to-back losses, a win and then a loss. Find a way to get the job done. Tennessee wins it. Ole Miss, they were covering the entire game. A technical foul by what's the coach's name? That coach at Texas Tech, is it Beard? I think that's Ole Miss's coach now, Chris Beard. Yeah, I think so. He gets a technical foul. Really wouldn't have mattered. We were down by 8. They made 2 and got the ball, but could have made a big difference if he didn't get that technical foul. We could have got a rebound and a bucket to cover the spread there, but didn't happen. UNC plus 13.5. They were down by 35, I think, at one point, and broke it down to 17 or 16 with 3 minutes left, and then they lost by 16. So that was a kind of a pull your heartstrings kind of game. Bama, Georgia, this is the game that I got the win over 158.5. They scored 159 points. They closed at 162.5. I saw 159.5 on Saturday about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But this is why I'm doing the noon games, and so everybody can watch the videos a little bit more. But this is one of those games that if you got it early, you could have got the win. But unfortunately, I think it closed at 162.5. So probably not a lot of people got the win there. Marquette minus 6.5 gets kind of stomped by UConn at home. They were really never in that game. Made a late push to cut the single digits, but really never in that game. Arkansas outright going up against Kentucky. You think Cal's never won in that building. Cal has definitely won in that building, and he does it one more time with Arkansas. And then Texas Tech outright plus 10.5. Toppin gets ejected 3 minutes into the game on one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my entire life in college basketball. I think he accidentally kicked somebody in the nads, and he gets ejected for that. Really bad call. Didn't matter. Texas Tech, the team, they responded. Went to overtime against Houston, and then they won at Houston. So that's a huge win for Texas Tech. So 4-3 day on the game picks. 4-0 sweep on the player props. Most of them were kind of sweating, I guess I could say. Chaz finished with 19, had 6 in the first half. Told you he turned it on. Seth Trimble over 9.5, scored 10 points, had 4 points at the half, scored 6 points, got hurt, went to the locker room stretched it out, came back in, scored back-to-back buckets, and got taken out of the game. So that was really kind of a lucky one to hit the over 9.5. Jalen Moore, over 17.5. Again, kind of one that we got lucky. Had foul trouble early in the game, but he scored like 11 consecutive points in the second half as Oklahoma runs away with that game going up against Vanderbilt. I think he finished with 20 or 21. And then finally, DJ Wagner. 0. Goose egg. A 0-point game in the first half, comes out in the second half, scores 15 points. Big part of why Arkansas wins that game. So 4-0. On the player props, and that was my most confident play of the day, I think, DJ Wagner. So luckily, he comes out in the second half and dominates. So 8-3 day in total. We'll take that all day, every day. Let's move on to the plays for Monday. Only one play on the docket. It is Big Monday, and we've got a big matchup. Iowa State going up against Kansas. Kansas is going to be at home. Usually, whenever that pops into my brain, I've told you guys this about Kansas. I'm a big fan. Been to a lot of games. My life. They usually don't lose at home. They're bad at home. They lost against Houston. They almost lost against UCF. Then they lose by, 8? 10? Something that might have been double digits going up against Baylor on the road in their last game after leading this game by 21 points. And Bill Self in the conference or the interview after the game said, I'm pretty sure it was Baylor giving us those oranges at halftime that screwed us. So he's in a good headspace right now. I just don't know what to think about Kansas. I thought coming into the season it's title or bust, but they aren't playing well together right now. Iowa State coming off back-to-back losses. Both these teams desperate in the Big 12 right now. Mark me down for Iowa State taking down Kansas in Allen Fieldhouse on Monday night. We're probably going to get some points in this game. I will take them against the spread. But Iowa State, Arizona lost. Really should have won that game. Caleb Love makes a 60-footer to send it into overtime. And then Kansas State kind of steps on them. This is a very proud Iowa State team. They are very good together as a team. The team chemistry is very high. These guys have been playing together for a while. Kansas just doesn't feel like they're gelling whatsoever. So I'm going to take Iowa State in this game against the spread. It goes against everything that I believe in with the Kansas Jayhawks at home, laying a small number, or even an underdog. I doubt they're an underdog. But I'm going to take Iowa State in this game. I just don't see anything I love about Kansas. They're going to lose this game. Maybe I take another bet for them to win the championship at like plus 4,000 after losing back-to-back games. But I just don't trust Kansas right now. I'm going to take Iowa State against the spread as the play. Let's go take a look at the player props for tomorrow. First player prop is going to be Rylan Griffin. This is the guy from Alabama. He was a sharpshooter at Alabama. He's supposed to be a sharpshooter for the Kansas Jayhawks, but he just doesn't get enough playing time. He's been around 20 minutes the entire season, but Bill Self has finally given him a little bit more wiggle room. 31 minutes in the last game, or not the last game, 2 games ago, going up against Houston at home. He made 5 of 6 from 3. He was a big part of why Kansas should have won that game. Remember, Kansas up 6 points with 17 seconds left, shooting 2 free throws against Houston at home. They lost that game outright. He scored 17 points in that game, 5 of 6 in the field. He was pretty good going up against Baylor in the last game as well, 2 of 4 from the from three-point range with 11 points. I like him in this game going up against Iowa State. They got to find some sort of spark. Zeke Mayo has not been the guy. Hunter Dickinson, I hate the guy. He usually scores 20 points per game, but he's a liability on the defensive side, and he really doesn't have anything besides a 10-foot hook shot. So they gotta find some scoring somewhere. I think Rylan Griffin could be the guy in this game. Over 1.5 threes, maybe 2.5 if we get a bad line. But I think 1.5 will be the play. He's only scoring 7 points per game this season. So give me the over 1.5 threes as the first play here. And we're going to stick with the 3-point shot. Curtis Jones. I've been screwed back-to-back days on Curtis Jones going up against Arizona and Kansas State. I took him over 2.5 threes back-to-back days. Went 0-8 against Arizona. Understandable. At least he shot 8 threes. I will take that loss with pride. Against Kansas State, he made 2 threes in the first 10 or 12 minutes, and he attempted 6, and he couldn't make a shot in the second half. One of them was a fadeaway baseline shot that there was no need for him to fade away. He was wide open. I don't know why he did it. Another one was a top of the key 3 that he could have easily made. Nobody was around him, and he just clanked it again. So I'm hoping third time's a charm here with Curtis Jones. The shot production is there. 6+ 3-point attempts in 10 consecutive games. He has been a really good option for Iowa State this season, the leading scorer on the team, 17.9 points per game. You need your best players to play against the best teams of the conference. But right now, Kansas and Iowa State, they're at the top of the conference. I don't think Kansas is the best team in the conference, but you got to find a way to play your best ball going on the road, going up against Kansas and Allen Fieldhouse. So I'm going to take Curtis Jones here, over 2.5 made threes. Nothing in that game against Baylor tells me that Kansas is going to be competitive in this game. So I'm going to take the over 2.5 threes. I'm taking Iowa State. We'll see what happens. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but at the same time, these videos are tried to make people money. So in good conscience, I can't tell you to take Kansas. Iowa State's going to be the play against the spread. Rylan Griffin over his threes, hopefully 1.5, should be 1.5. And then Curtis Jones over 2.5 made threes is the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it. The NCAA basketball picks and props for Monday, February 3rd slate of games. If you guys enjoy the content, please share, drop a like this video, and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.